want you to get your hands together. Help me bring our next performer to the stage. I know you're going to enjoy her. Big round of applause for Delila Jones. Let her know. Delila Jones.
Woo! Enthusiasm. I like it. Hi there. I'm Delila, and I am a late bloomer. Oh my God. That sounds so 12-step. And the fact that I've only just now figured this out while I am smack dab in the middle of my midlife crisis is pretty much textbook definition of being a late bloomer. You know, in your 20s, you are horny all the time. And in your 30s and 40s, sort of started to figure a few things out. And then in your 50s and 60s, you have come full circle. You're horny all the time again. My God, people, I have heard the stories. Whispered rumors about the wild, raucous sex parties in the villages. And all the local doctors scratching their heads because a whole mass of grandparents are showing up with the clap. I visited the website for the villages the other day, and there's a little tiny button on the homepage that explains everything. It says, "Come visit!" But this is not a command, no. This is a noun, because every visit to the villages is a come visit. Wow. Well, all this sex talk has me thinking about when I was pregnant with my daughter. She is 20 now, and people talk about bouncing back after pregnancy. What am I, a basketball? You know who came up with that idea? A man. Yeah, there is no bouncing back after pregnancy. I don't care how many miles you run, how many abdominal crunches you do. Things are never quite what they once were. Here's why. You crammed an entire human being into your abdominal cavity. Yes, so when you're pregnant, everything grows and stretches, your boobs get huge overnight, your belly looks like you swallowed a basketball. Maybe that's where the idea of bouncing back comes from. And then after the baby is born, everything kind of deflates, and all the stretched out parts sag, like sad little used condoms. Let's review. Entire human being lived in here 9 months. Wait, technically that's not quite right. They didn't pay rent, so technically they squatted. Yeah, and they were terrible tenants. They completely trashed the place. And while they were at it, they stole all of your juice. They have zero respect for the rules. Quiet hour? Ha! No such thing. No sooner would I turn out the lights and get ready for bed, my daughter would be in there going ballistic, practicing karate kicks. Hi-ya! Hi-ya! Like some in utero, tiny female Bruce Lee. You know, those last few months of pregnancy, that is boot camp for new parents. Yes, training, so you get used to the idea that you will not sleep well again for 30 years. Yeah. So my husband and I were reading the police blotter the other day. It has become our new favorite form of entertainment, because nothing bad ever happens around here, except when someone calls in a report about some guy cycling around buck naked. Yeah, the report read, after stopping the cyclist, police ascertained that he was in fact clothed. This left my husband and I feeling very perplexed. How was it possible that one person could see this guy as totally naked and the police saw him as fully clothed? I got my answer about 2 weeks later when some naked guy cycled past. On second glance, I realized that he was in fact clothed. Yes, he was wearing a flesh-toned banana hammock. Why do guys feel the need to parade around in a ball-binding scrap of shiny lycra? I suppose for some it's a form of in-your-face advertising. You know what they call them in Australia? Budgie smugglers. Yeah, budgies are birds, We call them parakeets here in the US, so the idea is it looks like they're packing birds in those packages. And really, this is the perfect smuggling scheme, right? No one is ever going to think to look there. And that is how you get birds into the country flying under the radar. Thank you and good night, Sarasota.
You have one of those banana smugglers? Do you? I'm wearing one now, man. I just wonder.